Have you ever wondered why you keep coming back to this place? Why do you keep reincarnating over and over and over again? Don't you think at some point we would learn our lesson and just maybe try a different planet? Maybe even just get fed up and be like, that's it. I'm not going back and you can't make me. I'm going to go to another planet. I'm going to do something else. Now, I've talked about this a lot on my channel. I have a lot of videos on a playlist. You can check it out by clicking the little swirly icon that's a labyrinth, looks like this actually. And that'll take you to my main YouTube channel and you can click playlist and then you can go to wow videos because this is a wow video. You've tuned into one of my series, Way Out Wednesdays, or maybe even Wisdom on Wednesdays. And today I'm going to give you the top 5 reasons why you and me, us big dummies, decide to keep coming back to planet Earth. Okay, maybe we can figure this out while we're here. When we cross over, we can be like, yeah, I did. I figured out what I was doing wrong and I would like a different ticket. I would like a different ticket to a different planet, right? I'm channeling this information. It's about 60% spirit guides, 40% Susan. Let's just see what they have to say today, shall we? So they have 5 reasons, and here are the 5 reasons. Number 1, to finish family business. Family business. Well, you guys, this is how we end up having these things called ancestors. If you've been incarnating here for several hundred lifetimes, then you have several hundred lifetimes of ancestors, of people, of souls, let's just say, that you've been incarnating with, that you've been coming down here and playing this game called being a human on Earth with. A lot of times, if you have children, you want to come back because you started something. Maybe you introduced this child to planet Earth for the first time or the 300th time. Who knows? Maybe the last time this child was on the planet Earth, this child was your father. Let's just say you have unfinished business with this child. You have unfinished business with this soul, and you want to finish that business. You perhaps feel obligated or you want to just see it through. Okay, so the number 1 reason is I got business to finish. Put me back in the game, coach. I've got business to finish on Earth. I know I can do a better job next time. I know I can get this done, or I can understand this, or I can let go of that, or whatever the struggle or the lesson is for you. Somehow we just have all the confidence in the world when we cross over that we're going to be able to come back and somehow do it differently, despite the fact that they conk us on the head or give us the amnesia, however it happens, and we wake up in a tiny little baby's body with no memory of anything, and we have to do it all over again from scratch with no prior knowledge. Now, what they're telling me right now is as humans are evolving, newsflash, turns out we are evolving. Sometimes we all think about maybe we are, maybe we aren't, we're not sure, but we are. And they're saying to me, as humans evolve, they're doing a better job of remembering. They're doing a better job of coming back without so much amnesia. And they're pointing out to me there's been more and more cases, or perhaps maybe the difference is that we're taking it more seriously. But whatever the reason, there's more and more cases of kids remembering their past lives, of children saying, I was your mommy, or I'm a daddy, at the age of 5 or 6 or 7. And that's actually helping us understand. Now, the other thing that's happening is we're going into the age of Aquarius. Astrologically, there's a lot of things that are going to be happening that are going to really light up our psychic and our intuitive switchboard. So even if you never thought you were intuitive, guess what? You're probably going to be lit up like a Christmas tree or any other kind of lighted up structure, maybe a city, and you're going to be having lots and lots of new experiences. So what they're saying is, as we continue to incarnate on Earth, we have less and less amnesia. Also, understand that for these people, these guides, these people, I'm speaking in Earth terms, but these beings. They're not ascended masters necessarily. They're like, who are you? Speak for yourself, lady. Well, maybe they are. I don't know. Mine are parole officers, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, and maybe parole officers are ascended masters. You ever thought about that? They're saying, no, I've never thought about any of this until just now because I'm channeling. Please let me finish. So I don't even know what I was saying. So right, thank you. They don't think that our life is very long. Okay, so they told me one time they got my full and complete attention, and I mean full and complete attention when they said, "Oh, don't worry, Susan, you can do it in your next life." I was like, "Oh, hell no. No, I'm going to do it in this life. Give me all the instructions, give me all the details, write it in triplicate, give it to me in my dreams, in my subconscious, have people bring it to me, bring it to me. I'm not going to repeat this." But in their estimation of what's happening, as far as our incarnations go, one life is nothing. It's like a blip. If you can't get it after, say, 20 lives, well, then maybe we need to step in and help you. So I think for you and I, we would rather kind of speed that up a little bit. So through human evolution, we are speeding it up quite a bit, they're saying. Number 2 is advance your personal soul's growth. Okay, now these are all overlapping. Truly, they really are overlapping on top of each other. You wouldn't have one without the other. So they're all linked and they're all dependent and overlap each other. So you come back because you say, it's about me. It's about my soul. Okay, I want to grow my soul in this new way. Or, in that last life, I really wanted to understand patience. I wanted to have better control of my temper. I wanted to have more self-love. I'm really working on this self-love, self-confidence thing, right? I've been working on it for a few lifetimes and I'm getting better at it, but I'm pretty sure that I can really get it this time. What are they going to say? Put me back in the game, coach. Let me go back down there. I'm ready. I'm ready. Now, I know I had a viewer actually comment recently and said, we don't want to come back here. We're made to come back here. I'm going to address that just briefly, and I don't know why, because this is their show, apparently. So what they're saying is, it's a very complicated process, right? So you cross over, you basically have to spend some time just getting your earthly energy kind of off of you. You know what I mean? It's very heavy. It's very human. And once you cross over, you're nothing but a soul, your energy, your light. But you carry a lot of that vibration with you. So you spend some time just kind of, chilling out and releasing. Okay. Now, so after you do that, you do your life review, which is basically you looking at your own self. You do your own life review. There is no judgment here. We judge ourselves. But remember, when we get over there, the blindfold is removed. Now, all of a sudden, we can see those past 100 lives. And it's all very simple to us over there. Those 100 lives distill down into a few big kind of topics. Again, maybe I was working on my self-love. Maybe I was working on boundaries. Maybe I was working on loving more to other people. Maybe I was working on, whatever it was. They're sort of big topics. And you kind of work on them for many lifetimes. So you have your self-review, and then you kind of go into your huddle. You go into your huddle with your soul group. These are souls that you've been incarnating with. Also, those souls may still be alive on planet Earth, or maybe even some other existence. And a part of that soul is meeting with you. Now, did that just blow your mind? Okay, well, guess what? Our souls are multi-dimensional. There's many versions of me running around at the same time because time is not linear. Therefore, a part of me can be up there, wherever up there is for you, all the time. We call that our overso, O-V-E-R, soul, or our higher self, because there's a part of us that's got to be the captain of the ship. If you got 10 Susans running around, somebody's got to keep track. Somebody's got to keep track of that, right? So your higher self is sort of knows everything that's going on. Okay, that's one part of your multi-dimensional soul. So you're up there doing your planning, your life planning, and you're like, okay, last time you were my husband, this time you're my son. You're still incarnated on earth below, but you know what? When he comes up and we reincarnate together again, I really want him to play my husband again because I just didn't learn this. And you know, he really knows me. He knows where all my buttons are. He knows exactly how to elicit this lesson from me. He knows it better than anybody because I was just his mother. So when he comes up here, we're going to jump back down together, but not together separately, but we're going to find each other and marry. And then we're going to work on that lesson again. Because you want to further your own soul growth. Now, where were they going with that? Right. So the question was, we're being made to come down here. So what happens is, from that very high vibrational viewpoint of I'm on top of the mountain and I can see it all, and it all makes perfect sense to me, and it doesn't seem very difficult because you have this very high elevated viewpoint, right? So when you start to come down through those vibrations, closer and closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to incarnation, that's when you start thinking, I don't want this, because you're being less connected to the higher vibration of the reason why you're signing up for this. As you get closer into coming into that baby body, you really sometimes don't want to come down here. I'm pretty sure I screamed no all the way down that slide, smack dab into my baby body. I'm sure I did. I'm positive. So yeah, that is how you may get a reading, or you may do some channeling, or you may do some inner work and find out, I didn't want to come down here, but I was made to come down here. My opinion is, and it could be wrong, find your own teacher, find what works best for you. But this is not a prison planet. If it was, well, I mean, if it was, we wouldn't, life would be very different, right? I mean, we would just be like, we wouldn't have free will. If this was a prison planet, they would just take away our free will and we would just be drones. This pod would be the procreating drone. This pod would be the working drone. This pod would be the intellectual working drone. We would just be drones, slaves, basically. We have free will. We can jack this life up as much as we want. And you want to know what else? We could jack this planet up as much as we want. If we were being made to come down here and we were given the free will to save the planet or jack the planet up, I'm pretty sure they would take away one of those options. If Earth was something they owned and they wanted to keep it looking pretty good, I'm pretty sure they would monitor us a little bit better. So anyway, let's move on. So number two is you have your own personal goals, right? And as I said just a minute ago, right? Humans are starting to catch on. Humans are starting to understand. We have some tools. You know, it's almost like they're showing me, and I think they're making fun of humans, but I don't know, because I'm channeling. But it's almost like when the caveman decided to like make something sharp. You know, so that they could, you know, chisel like a picture of a deer, you know what I mean? Or have dinner, you know what I mean? So it's almost like that. We're sort of that nascent, that sort of beginning of really embracing our psychic abilities, our metaphysical, our magical, our intuition. But right now we do have tools. So we have people like me. We have a lot of people out there in the world. And believe me when I say more and more people are turning their light bulb on and turning their open sign out today than ever before, because this is the age of Aquarius. This is the age of awakening. Okay. So what the spirit guides are saying is you have tools. You don't have to be in amnesia the way you think you do. You have tools. You can go get that past life reading. You can go get the astrology reading. You can get the psychic reading. You can get the Akashic Records reading, the numerology, the Kabbalah. There's a million tools. And if you can't afford the readings, you can watch videos like this and do it yourself and learn how to do it yourself. You can make friends with other people and support each other. So, yes, you came down here for your own personal soul growth. Because, as we've told you many times, this place, this planet, believe it or not, it is a very sought after existence. There is a queue, there is a line of souls that I see, all the way down to Jupiter or something. I mean, around the astrological block, around the galaxy's block, lined up to get here. This is extremely sought after place. But because a lot of souls tend to reincarnate again because of these 5 reasons I'm telling you, well, they have to wait for an opening. They have to wait for one of you guys to finally get fed up and say, rip your ticket up and throw it on the ground and stomp on it, and then go to your spirit guides and say, I'm not going back and you can't make me. And they're going to be like, we haven't been making you. You've been choosing it. You know what I mean? I mean, just imagine the customer service. Imagine that. Lady, we haven't been making you. Come on now. You know what I mean? Anyway, so that's it. You're here to expand your soul. And honestly, you guys, that means through grief, through sadness, through anger, through happiness, through passion, through joy, all of it. That's why we come here. All of it. Remember what the spirit guide said? We come here to play all the notes. We're making a beautiful song. Beautiful songs just don't have 3 notes over and over again. They don't have just the low notes or the high notes or the middle notes. They have all the notes. A really interesting song is a complicated song. Has a hook to it. It's got a complicated beat, complicated tune. Draws you in, makes you remember it. Well, your life is complicated. It's meant to be complicated. It's not meant to be boring. It's not meant to be 3 sad notes over and over again. But it's also not meant to be 3 high notes over and over again. It's meant to be a compilation of all of those experiences. And that's what you came here to do. And that's why you may come back to do. Okay, number 3 is participate in other souls' growth. Participate in other souls' growth. The guides want to say, notice how we did not say help. We did not say help others. This is a really big thing. Participate. You're a participator. You may be the one that drives your family member batshit crazy through no fault of your own. You don't even know what you're doing. You're like, I'm a nice person. Why do I irritate them so much? Well, because you're supposed to. You're supposed to give them that irritation. You're supposed to understand that at some point, it's not me. I didn't do it. I'm not responsible for this person's reaction to me. I'm being a nice person, yet they're reacting to me like I'm a terrible person. So that's your part of this lesson, right? Is to not take it personally. Their part is to understand why you irritate them. This could be you. Maybe somebody irritates the fire out of you and you don't know why. And you tell other people, I don't know why, they just bug me. They get under my skin. We have all these colloquialisms of ways of describing, golly, she gets under my skin, drives me crazy. And everybody else is like, why does she bother you? She doesn't bother us, but she bothers you. That, my dear friends, is solid gold. It's solid gold. That's like somebody saying, here's the key, here's the key, here's the key to unlock a lesson that you've been trying to learn. That person is a mirror for you. So if somebody irritates you, it's because there's something in you, not them. They're holding up a mirror to you. Find out what it is. So you're not there to help them, right? You're participating. It's like actors on a stage. They're not helping each other. They all have their own roles. They all have their own lines. They all have their own scenes. You don't go into the play thinking, I'm going to help this person. You go into the play thinking, I'm going to play my role. So in this case, if somebody's bugging you, however hard it is to look at yourself, because obviously, if that's bugging the fire out of you, you don't want to see it in yourself. And that's why they present people to you to bug the fire out of you, because you would never see it in yourself. And perhaps that person is bugging the fire out of you. When you look at that same quality in yourself, it's not the same. It may not be nearly the same intensity, but there's something that reminds you of something you don't like about yourself when you react to someone else. So you come here to participate in helping other souls on their journey, on their incarnation journey. Remember what they said when you're doing your soul planning. You know, you might say, yeah, I'm gonna come down as your mom because I really need to work on my being present. You know, I've really developed this rut. You remember in the other videos, the spirit guides have talked about how when you reincarnate, you kind of start creating a rut. If you fall in the same energy over and over again, if you take the same path over and over again, pretty soon there's no grass, and then there's a path. And then if you just keep doing that over a couple of hundred lifetimes, it's a rut. It's a ditch, right? So you might say to yourself, gosh, I really am developing this rut, whatever this energy is, and I really want to work on it. So I'm going to pick you as my son, my daughter, my whatever, fill in the blank, my boss, even, believe it or not, my dog, cat, or bird, believe it or not, every entity, every energy in your life is a potential teacher. Everything is a potential teacher. So you come down here to participate in others' soul growth. You come here to grow your own self. So the next thing that we come here to do, so exciting. The next two things. So 4 and 5 are a little bit similar. Number 4 is we come here to participate / what they said, witness earth changes. We came here, we literally incarnated during this time right now, very specifically. We could have sat out 20 or 30 or 50 years and missed this whole thing, but we didn't. And remember, time on the other side is nothing like it is here. So time over there, 20 years is like, you know, a couple of minutes. All they had to do was hang out with a unicorn a little bit longer and they could have missed this whole thing. No, you and I, we didn't want to miss this. We were like, give me a ticket for that. I don't want to miss this change, these big changes that are happening on the earth. I want to be there. Now, I want you to understand something because they're telling me that they want you to understand something. Witness, right? They didn't say, and they're probably talking to me. They're probably talking to me. They didn't say chain yourself to a tree, because when I was very young, like say, you know, in my early teens, I learned of this group called Earth First. I think all of them are in prison or dead by now. But anyway, Earth First. They were the kind of people that chained themselves to trees, to like the redwoods. That was me. I'm like, give me a chain, give me a lock. I'm chaining myself to the oak out front. You know, my dad is like, what are you doing? So, but really, they really want you to understand. Again, I guess that, so they're saying that the dramatic side of Susan started pretty young. They're always calling me dramatic, and I swear to God, I don't see it in myself. But anyway, I let them slide because I think they do it out of love. But anyway, so witness, not necessarily, you and I'm not going to change the world. I mean, surprisingly, I'm not. Chaining myself to the tree is not going to save anything. Now, what I can do is I can be a part of the consciousness that's alive at this time. My consciousness, right? My energy. I'm emitting energy all the time. This is an important thing, actually. You're emitting a beacon all the time. Now, remember what they just said about humans playing the whole song, all the tune, all the different notes. We're not suggesting that humans need to be high and woo, I'm so high and happy and everything is fine, because that's not true. That's just not true. So your beacon would naturally be emanating all those different notes, right? High, low, medium, high, low, medium. That would be kind of the best scenario. Honestly, that's the best scenario. Emitting high all the time means that, you're high. It doesn't mean you're in reality. And emitting low all the time means you're depressed. So, emitting a normal range of energy is, the whole range is important. But on top of that, if you're emitting a love for nature, if you're emitting a love for the earth, then that's healing the earth. And that's communicating to other humans without you even knowing it, that more of us love the earth than want to destroy it. Now, where we get into trouble, I think, is that we worry instead of love. And this is true for any situation. You worry about your job, you worry about your kids, your grandkids, you worry about your health, you worry about your money, whatever, you're fill in the blank. We worry. I don't know about you, but worry has never solved the problem for me. It's never fixed anything for me. And I'm pretty much an Olympic warrior, so I can pretty much guarantee you it doesn't work. So the guides are saying, send love. I know we're all worried about the planet. And we came here. We came here to witness it. Witness, not to fix, to witness. There's something important about witnessing, okay? We're here to witness it. We're going to take this information that we witnessed, and we're going to incarnate again, maybe here, maybe somewhere else. Wherever we go, it doesn't matter. We're taking this information with us, and we're not going to forget it. It's like those souls that incarnated with Lemuria or Atlantis, or maybe you incarnated during the Civil War or World War II or some horrible other war in Europe or some other thing, a famine. You take that with you. That becomes a ring in the tree of your soul life. You know how trees have rings? Think about your soul. Every one of those rings is a life and has data, has information. So you're here to witness the earth's changes, because as you continue to incarnate, wherever you incarnate, you're going to take that information with you. You're going to take that knowledge with you. You're going to say, yeah, I was a human on earth in the 2000s. And I can tell you what not to do, right? I can bring to you some knowledge. I come from a place. I had an experience. And I want to share that experience with everyone. So we're here to witness. Okay, so that's an important thing. That was number 4. And, as far as like, I've done videos on that. You can go to the WOW playlist and you can see my climate change, or just go to my main channel and look up climate change. I've done videos. It's going to be okay. It's going to be different. We're all going to be living differently, but it's going to be okay. It really is going to be okay. And Earth is going to be okay. She's a lot bigger than us. We're just gnats on her backside. And she swats us with these natural disasters. And each natural disaster pushes us. So she's kind of hurting us off of some sensitive areas of her planet. Coastlines, fault lines, whatever they may be. She's pushing us away from them. This is going to take a little time. but it's going to happen. She's going to take care of herself. Believe me. We're not going to ruin it. We're learning a lesson. We may not learn it. Sometimes people flunk. We may flunk. We may totally flunk this lesson, in which case Earth is going to push us to a place where we can be. And think about it. We're already lessening our population. People are having way less babies. In China, they're trying to get people to have kids. Women don't want to have kids. People don't want to have kids for a lot of different reasons. So overall, yes, our population is growing, but not at the same rate that it was. So I think that all of these things, humans we're in vibrational match. We understand. Whether you're conscious of it or not, we understand. Okay. Now the last reason why you may want to reincarnate, you probably will. I hate to say that, but you may want to incarnate, is to participate in societal changes. Now, here they switched from witness, but I do feel witness is a very important word, but it could be where you have witness and participate in societal changes. Okay, so societal changes. This is the fifth reason. This is the big mama, the big daddy, that we would come back because, hey, I've crossed over. I've done my exit interview. I've done all my things. I've turned in my badge. You know what I mean? Took my R&R trip, whatever. I've chilled out. Now I'm back at the planning table and I'm trying to decide, do I want to go back to Earth? Do I want to try some other planet? What do I want to do? And you look at Earth and you really have this, it's home. After you've incarnated here for 400 times, 300, 400, 500 times, this is your home. You're like a baby turtle that's imprinted on that beach, and it's going to come back to that beach no matter if it's concrete and there's a condo there. You imprinted on planet Earth, and you want to come back. You want to see it through. That seems to be the theme, right? In all of these 5 things, I want to see it through. I want to see my own souls grow through. I want to see other souls that I'm working with see their growth through. I want to see the environment. I want to see the societal changes. I want to see all of these things. I put too much time and effort in this place. I'm not going to abandon it now. Maybe that's the energy, right? So societal changes, right? This is all wrapped up. It's all wrapped up in a fabric. You can't separate the fabric. They're threads, right? They're threads that all make a fabric. But what I did was I described the threads. But when you step back, it's a fabric. It's all connected. So societal changes. What does that mean, Susan? What it means is that as we're ascending, as we're opening up to our abilities, that's going to change society. As we deal with climate change, that's going to change society. There's so many human-oriented societal changes that are happening on this planet right now. And these changes are going to affect the outcome of the next 50, 100 years. So again, this is an important time to be here. And the next incarnation of people, so let's say if we decide to incarnate again, maybe in another 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 years or 100 years, well, we're going to be doing the same work. It's important work. This is a very important time in the evolution of humans. Will we get it right? What is right, right? Will we get it right? I mean, that's very judgmental, but I guess it is. I guess it is. I don't know. Will we get it right? That's what I want to say. But it seems there's a lot of ways we can get it right. So when I'm asking them about that statement, because right is not black and white. That's the thing also that throws off humans, right? Because, killing and not killing, that's pretty clear. It's pretty clear to me. Stealing, not stealing, pretty clear. Right, wrong. But there are so many, that's really, it's true, they're saying about the 10 commandments, right? There really is only 10 things you shouldn't do. That leaves 9,999 million other things that humans can do that is gray. So will we steer the ship? Will we decide to honor human consciousness as a whole? So what they just said was, well, I just said what they just said, but what they mean is this, we're going from this me energy, it's about me, to it's about we or us. It's not about me anymore, because frankly, dealing with climate change, dealing with these societal changes, we're not going to make it if we just have this individualistic attitude or energy. And I really feel like that's what climate change is going to do. Climate change is going to bring us all together because we're going to need each other. We're really, really, really going to need each other. You're not going to have this rugged individualism. That's not going to work. If you're by yourself out there, you're not going to survive. So we're going to band together. We're going to pool together. We're going to pool our resources together. And that's going to mean having more one consciousness, more one love, more acceptance. How do you take billions of people that are all different and put them together like this? Well, with a lot of patience, a lot of acceptance. Go back to number one. You know, I wanted to come back and finish family business. Number two, you know, I wanted to work on my soul. Number three, I wanted to work on or participate helping other people's souls. Number four, I wanted to work on the climate, the physical changes in the earth. And number five, the whole thing, the tribe, the whole humanism. You see how it all makes sense? Why those reasons are so important and how they bring us to a place where once I'm worked on myself and I realize it's not all about me, it's about this person who's bugging me, who's showing me something important about myself. Oh my gosh, I learned that. Now I'm in gratitude to that person that drives me crazy. Now I have a connection to that person who drives me crazy. The person doesn't drive me crazy as much. And take that times 100, times 1,000, times 1,000,000. And that's how you have the energy of a lot of different cultures, a lot of different people, all coming together. Because we have to. We're going to have to. It's not about wanting. It's we have to. So we're here learning these lessons, learning these lessons, learning these lessons. So that then we can be prepared for the one consciousness. So, you know, after I put it like that, it doesn't sound like a bad place to come back to, does it? I mean, maybe it does. I don't know. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this video. Let me know if you think you're coming back. I've done quite a few videos on incarnation. For some reason, they keep bringing me back to this topic. They keep bringing me back and bringing me back. And every time they do it a little differently, I think it must be a super important topic. And maybe your attitude is even changing. Maybe you're thinking differently now, 3-6 months later. Maybe now you're thinking, you know what? I used to think that I wanted to come back and now I don't. Or maybe I thought that I didn't want to come back, but I do. Maybe I understand better my role here. So I'm not so irritated by the whole thing. I don't know. Let me know what you think. And if you like this content, think about subscribing. This is free. These videos are free. And if you subscribe, you'll always know when it's Wednesday because I'll have a video out. My name is Susan Lynn, Psychic Medium. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. Take really good care of yourselves, okay? We're all going to be fine. I feel a lot better after this for some reason. I hope you do too.